Good evening, Shane. Hey, brother. Sam. Anthony. Stevie, how you doing, bro? Helen. Gaza. Sister Sax. Reggie. Sean. Tom. Sue. Stephen. Julie. Oliver. A couple more. Right, guys, I hope you've all had a good Christmas and New Year with your families. No Nathan again tonight because he's still banned by Facebook, Messenger, etc, etc. So Nathan's still banned. He can watch, you'll probably see him come on here. He can watch things, but he can't comment. He can't go live himself. So you're just stuck with me for tonight. Evening, Nashi, hi brother, Jennifer. So that's why Nathan ain't here. Hopefully you've all had a good Christmas and New Year, as I said. Evening, Claire. Just wanted to come on and talk about a few things. Being as it's a new year, we need to get the empathy and the compassion back for each other this year and start banding together. All countries, all nations, no matter what colour, creed you are, we're all human beings. None of us needs to be controlled and enslaved, and that's what's happening. I'll explain now. You've only got to look at what's happening in South Africa with the farmers, the murdering. Also, Australia, what's happening there. Bushfires, deliberate bushfires to drive everybody out of the countryside into the cities because that's what they want us to be. They're building smart cities everywhere. You've only got to look at London. It's happening, guys. This is it. This is Agenda 21, the start of it. We've been telling you this for 2 years. Nobody's listening. It's going to happen here. It's happening in Australia. These fires are decimating species. 500 million animals died so far in Australia. That's unacceptable in this day and age. But ask yourself, where's the aid? Where's Band-Aid? Where's Bob Geldof and Bono? Where are they? Why aren't they doing a single for Australia to get them aid? Because it doesn't fit the agenda. Why aren't they doing it for South Africa? Because it doesn't fit the agenda. We need to wake up, guys, because it's happening. Iran, yes, Reginald. Now that is something different. I put a post on yesterday. I thought I was going to get slaughtered. I didn't get slaughtered as much as I thought I would, because I said the Rothschilds have finally got what they want. They've got America to invade Iran. This has been on the cards. One of the 6 nations that doesn't have the Rothschilds banking system, etc, etc. They've been wanting to go in there since the early 70s, ladies and gentlemen. They finally got the chance. Trump, I'm not saying Trump is for the Rothschilds at all. I'm saying that guy deserved to die. He was a tyrant. He was a terrorist. He deserved to die. But what Trump has done now, by doing what he's done, is allowed the Rothschilds into Iran through the back door. And people can't see it. And what happens now when America bomb the shit out of Iraq and Iran again and flatten it to the ground? Who do you think's them refugees? Who do you think they're going to give them refugees to? They ain't going to go to America. They're going to come here and Europe. So on the face of it, it looks great. But the aftermath isn't going to be great for us because it plays into the Rothschilds' hands. The Rothschilds want to swamp Europe with migrants, and that's what they're doing again now. But we should all be saying no. Because like in the 40s in the Blitz here, they bombed the shit out of London in the Blitz. Did they send us anywhere? No. They shipped us off to the countryside while they rebuilt London. It bores me piss, this does. Iran is a hot country. Never drops below mid-20s. So they're not going to freeze. So they should build camps, tent camps, in the countryside. Make sure there's plenty of water and food. And go and send the architects and builders and that, and rebuild the cities, what they've got to do. But leave the refugees where they should be, in their own country. Not ship them off here, because then that's what happens. They ship them off here, they're pissed off because they don't want to be here, and then you wonder why they want to bring in their own laws and everything here, because they don't want to be here. And that's why they've got a hatred for us, because we bomb the shit out of their towns and cities, and then they get lapped over here. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be saying no. You leave everybody over there, send them off, pack them off to the countryside, build tent camps with the water supplies and the food, send the aid over, get the camps built, and leave the refugees where they should be, in their own country. Just like they did here, in the Blitz. But people don't believe what's going on. Oh, we should take them. No, we shouldn't. It's not our war. Because all that's going to happen is, and this is why, me and Nathan was talking about this the other day. Back in, I think it was the late 60s, early 70s, they were saying, too many people in the world. Stop producing as many children. So all the West complied with it. We all started having 1.2, 2 point children instead of 8 and 9s. And then, because it's deplenished, instead of saying to us, start having more children again, let's boost the economies and let's boost the numbers in Europe. No, they want to influx and make the numbers up with the migrants. And I know people ain't going to like it and don't want to know the truth, but that is the truth. Because majority of them are not brought up the way we are with education and everything else. So they're easy to dumb down, easier to control. This is why they want to influx our country and Europe with migrants and get rid of the indigenous people, because them are easier to control. Let that sink in. They're easier to control than we are. Because we won't stand for half of the shit that they want to put us through. And they know it. And this has been done now because look everywhere in Europe. France, Germany, Italy, Spain. It's all kicking off. They know we're next. And they ain't stupid. This is a distraction. One, to get rid of that tyrant. Fair play to Trump for that. That is a good thing. But the aftermath of it all is they get what they want. They get thousands and thousands and thousands of more migrants shipped from there, Iran and Iraq, to here. Where they're automatically going to hate us for what's just gone on. You can't blame these people. You've got to blame us and our government. Because if we was bombed the shit out of and meant to move somewhere else, we wouldn't be very happy. So you can't blame it all on the migrants themselves. What you've got to do is put positions in place where you don't have to have them. And if we can work this out as normal working class people, why are we paying our government? What are our government there for then? If they can't see the same thing that we can see. Instead of shipping 2 million people out of there all around Europe, why not keep the 2 million people there in camps and rebuild the cities and that for them? And let's face it, if this person is as bad as he is, which he is, surely it starts a time, because if we've got somebody being tyrannous in this country, which we have, by the way, nobody's going to come and take our government out for us, and that's what's happening. You've got too many tyrants and tyrannous corrupt people running the world, the people are dumbed down. And people have got to start, you've got to start thinking for yourselves, guys. They're going to push this on us. Trust me. When this kicks off big time, and it will, they start bombing the shit out of everywhere. And when it's all flat, they'll say there's a refugee crisis. You know, they've got nowhere to go. Well, we should be saying, well, I'm sorry, you're not coming here. Let them get to Saudi Arabia. For instance, there's plenty of room in Saudi Arabia. It's already been said, and I'll tell you something else as well that a lot of people don't know. Germany, let me tell you, built a holiday resort on an island just off in the sea outside of Germany, a whole island with hotels, everything in place that could ship all these people there. But they won't do it, because if then they wanted to rape any kids or whatever, they'd have a fairly big swing to get there. They wouldn't even want to do it. But the Germans won't do it either. They've got a whole island there, holiday island, just off the coast of Germany, that could house all these refugees. Why ain't they doing it? Because they want to put it on Europe. They want the trouble. They want the civil war between the Muslims and the Christianity. They want it. We've got to lose the fear, as Nash just said. We've got to lose the fear, guys. We've got to rise up as one, and we've got to take this country back. We've got to take it back for the people. And then, once we're back in control, we can put people in that parliament who are going to have our interests at heart. Hit the course, probably right, that is, Paul. But it's just the truth, mate. There's people that could put these in various other places. They haven't got to send them to Europe. But they will. And that's why all these bushfires in Australia are there to push the people out of the bush into the cities, because they want you in the cities where they can control everybody. They don't want you all spread out. They want you all in one place. And they don't care how many animals they kill, how many species they wipe out to get their end goal, this new world order. And that should show you that the people running the world, not your government and my government, and governments around the world, I mean the real government, the deep state in every country that runs that government. Because all your governments are puppets. That's all they are. And the sooner you wake up to the fact that everybody, including Boris, does as he's told, that's when you'll get things happening. Because, like I said with Trump, he may not be part of the cabal as such, but he's still America's run by the deep state. He's fighting it, maybe. Who knows? But he may be fighting it. But he's one man on his own. The question I question with all of this, with Trump and everything else, is the UN are trying to take away the Second Amendment. They're trying to get people to go in and employ people to take the guns off the American people. So, if Trump is for the American people, why isn't he turning around and saying, no chance, that's not going to happen? Why? I know it's the people's Second Amendment, but Trump should surely be telling the people, don't allow them to do this. Why are the American government in cahoots with the UN and letting them put adverts in every paper, the Washington Post and everything like this, the New York Times, advertising for these people who are experienced to help take away guns? Why are they doing it if they're not part of it? That's the thing that gets me. I don't understand. Someone didn't explain to me if that's the case. And it's happening. Boris is doing the same. I wouldn't trust Boris Johnson out of my sight. I wouldn't. Because he's a politician. Because he's part of the government who are all puppets. Only well, not one person, but only one group of people is going to sort this mess out around the world. Around the whole of the world, not just here, Australia, South Africa. Only one group of people, and that is the people themselves in every single country. By coming together, waking up, coming together, marching down to the individual parliaments, etc., and kicking them out peacefully. Because if you do it violently, you won't stand. Because you've got to do it lawfully. But as long as you all stand together peacefully in your millions and take the correct paperwork, go march down to them parliaments, remove them like they did in Iceland. Look at Iceland now. Iceland is running perfect. Iceland was in a lot of shit with the banks, corrupt bankers. They went in, kicked them all out, threw them in put them in wheelie bins. There was no violence really. They took back Iceland. Now look at Iceland as an economy. It's thriving. Because they did it the right way. And that's all we need to do, guys. This country, America, South Africa, Australia, all you've got to do is unite as one in your countries and take it back for yourselves, the people, and your kids, your future generations. Because otherwise you can see what's happening in Australia. They don't care. They don't care how many people, how many animals, how many children they kill. As long as they get their end goal. And if it all kicks off really badly, with nuclear wars and etc., that's why they ain't bothered. Because they've got underground cities where they can all go and live for 25, 30, 40 years. They've got enough air conditioning, supermarkets, you name it, all built underground for them to live their lives just like they would above ground. So they are never going to suffer. This is what you've got to get your head around. They want to depopulate the world because we're too, as a people around the world, we're too hard to control when there's that many of us. They can't control us, and they know it. And they're losing control in France. They're losing control in Germany, in Italy, in Spain. They're starting to lose control, and they've realised what's happening. The people are getting fed up. So they've got to reduce it to an amount where they can control you. People look and say, conspiracy, this is that and the other. Just look at the facts. Look for yourself. Just look what's happening around the world. Look what's happening everywhere. Yeah, we could well be next with the floods, Tina. Because it's only a small island. And if you look, some of the graphs with the wind, they're perfectly blocking the rain in Australia. You look at the satellite pictures where the rain's coming across like that, the wind's there and the wind's pushing the. It's all designed. It's all designed to do what they want to do in Australia. And then when they've done Australia, they're already doing South Africa. It'll be somewhere else. France, they're doing it with France. Bringing the troops and that in. But fair play to the French, they haven't backed down. But there's got to be an uprising like you've never seen before, all around the world, to get these people gone, because they're evil. They're not on our side. If they was on our side, they'd be sending aid to Australia. They'd be helping the South African farmers. They would, 100%. And like I said, the minute this all kicks off over there and the decimate Iran and Iraq with bombs again, the outcry will be, you've got to have them in Europe. I don't care what. You've got to have them back. And you mark my words with Boris, something's going to happen between now and the 31st of this month where we've all of a sudden got a delay. And so sure that happens. I hope it doesn't. But so sure that happens, if that's not a big red flag for the whole of this nation, then nothing will be. Because it's supposed to have been 29th of March last year. Then it was October. Now it's gone to January. If they put it back again, and don't forget, once this Lisbon Treaty kicks in the middle of this year, there's no going back. There's no veto. We're finished. That's it. We're done. We're in Europe for the foreseeable. Only we, as a people, and you won't see this on any mainstream media news anywhere, because they don't want to put the truth out. If it was, people would wake up like that. If BBC was got presenters saying the stuff that the Patriots say. But they're never going to do that, because they're all part of it. You get any business for the start, little business starting out. Straight away, you start to make money. Along come the council or somebody else and say, we're going to buy your business for this amount of money. Well, I don't want to sell them. I'm up and coming now. You've got two choices. You can sell us your business for this amount, or you won't never work anywhere else, blah, 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 in any town or country in Europe, etc., etc. In other words, accept the deal or you're finished. Small businesses, or they tax the shit out of you. They don't want middle class. They only want slaves and the upper class. And that's what they're getting rid of. And people can't see it. But you need to start waking up, guys, because it's happening. It's real. Nathan was supposed to come on. We can't get out to Danny, because we usually do it through hangers. But we will try and get on tomorrow with Nathan, or Monday, and we'll go over it properly. But I've just come on here to give you the heads up, because the world is in turmoil at the moment, and these things are being done to test the waters. They have been pushing and pushing the buttons of the working class people now for the last 25 years. That's what they've been doing, to see how far they can actually push you before you will kick off. That's what it's all been designed for. And then when you have kicked off, they know they haven't got the manpower in this country, for talking sake alone. They know, with the police, with all the army, the navy, everybody, all the civil servants, it's not going to amount to any more than probably about 400,000 people, 500,000 people, because we've cut right back. So they know they're outnumbered. So when all this happens in Iraq and they're all sent over here and they're all disgruntled with us, they know we're going to start fighting with each other. And that bides them the time to do what they've got to do, bring what laws they've got to bring in and everything else through the back door while we're all fighting with the Muslims. Wake up. Get rid of your governments. They are the problem. They are the ones who are bombing and shit out of everywhere and causing problems and causing wars. It's never been the people. It's always been for power, money and greed. Always. Because otherwise there's no need. No need for a war. You run your country, we run our country. End of. But it's not about that, is it? It's about if there might be some... Like I think it was in South Africa, it was gold mines and everything else. So the Rothschilds have got to get there because they need it. That they want to control everything. They want to be the most powerful and most richest. And that's what this is all about. About one set of 25 families ruling the rest of us. And they're going to rule you into it non-existence, because everything's going through the roof. You will be going to work, and you'll be going to work and sleep, work, sleep, just to survive. Because they are pushing it that way. Everything's going up by design. Council tax is going up again. Water rates are going up again. Your gas bills, electric bills, all going up again. There's no need for it. They're already making enough profits. But it ain't about profit. It is, but it's more about controlling us. My beautiful wife's watching. How are you, darling? But, you know, you need... Seriously, guys, you've got to start waking up. Because this has been done by design again. Yes, they've took a tyrant out, and fair play. He was a tyrant. But what they should have done is send people over there to help the people over there remove him. Not go over and do what they're going to do now. Because it's just going to create more migrants, homeless. And like I said, where do you think they want to send these people? They ain't going to send them to Saudi Arabia because they won't have them. I despair, really do. But only time will tell, guys, whether you listen or whether you don't. But there's people out there, patriots out there, who have got the finger on the pulse, who know exactly what's going on. You've got to listen to them. It's not just me, it's in America. There's everywhere. Other patriots in this country saying the same things. There's people that are awake. You've got to, evening on, you've got to wake up yourselves. Nobody can force you to wake up. But hopefully you will. And then we can make the world a better place for everybody's children. Not just our own. It shouldn't be about race, colour, creed. It shouldn't. That's only been brought. I had a story told to me and it was correct. You could put a 4-year-old Chinese lad, a 4-year-old black lad, a 4-year-old Muslim and a 4-year-old white lad, etc., etc., all in a room, and they'll all play lovely together. They won't hate each other's guts. They'll play with each other and everybody will be equal. It's only what they're taught afterwards. They're taught to be racist. There's no racism in the world anywhere. It's all taught. Yes, that's correct, Reginald. We are all worth millions in gold. The old saying, you're worth your weight in gold, that wasn't said just to be said. It was the truth. That's what you're registered at. Your weight when you're born is registered in gold. But people don't want to listen. But other than what I'm trying to say to you now, we've got this opportunity now as people, as nations, to stop this tyranny and corruption around the world, because it's getting out of hand. But only us as people are going to do it, because the government's not going to come to your aid. The Australian government not going to come to the aid of the Australians. In fact, they've sold them out. They are selling Australia off, just like we're being sold off. Australia's more or less been sold to the Chinese. That should tell you all you need to know. Chinese have bought up all the reservoirs, all the dams, all the rivers, own all the most of the water. All the corporates own the water. Think about it, guys. Think about it long and hard. Because if you don't, and you don't wake up, you can't say you ain't been warned. Because like I said, there's that many different patriots throughout the world, in all countries, saying the same. Look what's happening in Hong Kong. These elites are not stupid. They know exactly what's going on. And they're doing all these diversionary tactics just to buy themselves time. Because they know they're on borrowed time if people wake up. Yeah, austerity will. Yeah, exactly, AJ. Priority should be getting out of the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice. And that's the problem. It's the same as our Supreme Court. I've said this for years. You don't need the Supreme Court of Justice. That was just set up by Tony Blair to cover his arse. We've never had it before. We don't need it now. That was just to cover his arse so they can rule on stuff to do with the EU. That shouldn't be there. Come the 31st of January, if we do leave, the Court of Justice, European Court of Justice, should be shut. The Supreme Court. Shut. Don't need it no more. Because we're just one country, our own laws. Our own Royal Court of Justice can deal with everything. Don't need the ECJ anymore after the 31st of this month. Well, we don't need it now, really. That's the first thing they should do to show willing. Shut it down. Then you can't have corrupt judges. And then we've got to start doing our own system. We've got to start dealing with these people, these high court judges who allowing social services to pinch children. It's scandalous. I know some people, and quite rightly so, have the children took off them. But there's a damn sight more. I'd say it's probably 85 to 15, 85% of the people don't deserve children taken off them, but they took off them anyway, because social services think they'll all run to each other. Do me a favour, guys, go and research this. Research the church, the state of the church, when the church was in control of the children. And then have a look at the way they used to operate, and then have a look at how social services have took on the baton from the church. It's just a name change. That's all it is. It's a name change. Social services instead of church services. They're still just as corrupt and tyrannous as they've always been. Don't take my word for it. Go and research it. Go and look at how the church services used to operate when they looked after the children, and have a look how social services operate. Exactly the same amount. These are the things you've got to start dealing with this year. As people, as a nation, as compassionate, caring people with empathy. You've got to start bringing it back. Because if you don't, look how many people have got upset over the animals, and it's right. But you look at all the top people, your governments and politicians, they don't give a shit about what's happened to the animals. Because it's part and parcel of, it's got to be got out of the way, because we've got to get on with our job. We've got to get this new world order in place. They don't care. And they don't care about how many people die either. Don't you think that your governments care about you? Because they don't. They've never met you. They don't know you. So they don't give a shit. That's the difference. There's no compassion because they ain't got any. These people nowadays, the last 15, 20 years, have been bred through the colleges, through Eton, through Oxford and Cambridge and what have you. They've all been brought through for that particular reason. They've looked at the ones who've got no empathy, who've got no compassion, who are just going to go and do the job ruthlessly. And them are the ones who make it. The ones who may have a bit of compassion and maybe, well, you can't do that because the people might kick off. They don't get nowhere. Just have a look in that parliament when they're speaking. How they speak about the people. They like shit off the shoe. Are we going to change it? Time will tell. But I'm certainly going to try and wake the people up to the fact of what's going on. I can't do it on my own. Just like Trump. If Trump is for the people, he can't do it on his own. He's going to need the American people to rise up against the tyranny and corruption that's happening there. You can't blame one man for everything that's happened. He's gone in there thinking he's doing the right thing. He's took a tyrant out with his advisors and that. Yeah, the right thing to do. But what he probably hasn't looked at is the bigger picture. What is actually happening now? Because mark my words, if the American go in there, they say they're not after regime change. You mark my words. It is all about regime change. Not probably from Trump's point of view, but from everybody else that got him to go in there. It's all about the banking. It all comes back down to money, ladies and gentlemen. Not lives, not anything else. This. And you'll see soon enough that we're all telling the truth. But only time will tell whether you do listen or not. Because let me tell you, when you're awake, guys, and you know that all of you on here are awake, once you're awake, there's no going back. You can't go back to sleep. It's impossible. It's impossible to go back to how you was before you was awake. Because you know it all now. You know what's going on. You know how tyrannous and corrupt it all is. And every other person, every new person we can wake up is a bonus for us as people, for the world, for your kids, for your future generations. Every single person we can wake up in this next year and get it all sorted is a bonus. Because time is running out. These people don't care. They're just in it for money, for glory, for fame, for control, mainly. Money and control. That's all it's about. It's like the old Monopoly game on the thing. You see them there and everybody's leaning forward and they're playing Monopoly. All you got to do is like them. All you got to do is stand up and the game's over. But it's like I said on that post yesterday, it's whether we've got the strength and the courage to do it. Because that's all it's going to take. Strength, courage and conviction. To do the right thing. Because they're not doing the right thing. Like I said, you've only got to look in Australia. They used to have winter burn backs. So you had a forest this long. In the middle there, they'd have a half a mile or so where they cut it all back, damp it all down, ready for the hot fires in the summer. So that when the fire comes, instead of burning the old forest, it could only get to there. It had to stop. But they stopped it. Think. Why did they stop it? Because there's an agenda. South Africa. Nothing on the news. Why farmers murdered, killed, butchered every day of the week. Never heard about it on mainstream news, do you? If these people was for the truth and for the news and the truth, why are they putting these things out? Because you've, not us, but the people who are watching or maybe shout this video, you got to wake up. Because the mainstream media is not on your side. It's a propaganda machine for the elites. Always will be, and it always has been. And until you can get them on side, and that's the other thing you should be doing. These have got viewing figures. Just like this has. How many people watch? How many people see the video? So has the BBC, so have ITV. When the mainstream news comes on, everybody should turn over. So they've got nobody watching them. When they've got nobody watching them, these elites won't pay money for people to broadcast to nobody. They'll shut. Or come on side. You'll get people approaching and say, we want to tell the truth. That's the only way. As long as you carry on watching them and keep boosting the figures like the 6 o'clock news, bump, everybody's watching BBC or Sky, 6 o'clock. The figures are there, everybody's watching. They're never going to change their tact until you do. Switch it off. Oh, the 6 o'clock news, bullshit. 6 o'clock news, bullshit. 10 o'clock news, bullshit. Turn it off. So they don't see, when they look at the viewing figures, oh, we had 10 million people watching last week. We got 10. 10 people from 10 million. That's what you've got to do to these people. You've got to show them. Just like you would with the football. If your team's playing shit and you want to get rid of the manager, what do? You don't go watch them anymore, do you? You keep away from the ground. So you vote with your feet and with your... And that's what you're doing with the BBC and ITV. If you don't watch these programmes, they won't make them. It's simple as. Because they ain't getting out to anybody. The mainstream bullshit ain't getting out anymore, is it? But we've got to change our attitudes. But only we can do that. It's whether you're willing to do it. Yes, Claire, brainwashing. And it'll continue to be brainwashed until we all change our attitude. But anyway, I just wanted to come on for a quick moan and put the world to rights as we do. But you believe it if you do. You believe what you want to believe, guys, at the end of the day. I ain't sitting here saying you've got to believe me. I'm telling the truth. I am telling the truth, but I ain't telling you must believe me. All I'm saying to you is go and do your own research. Go and have a look. Just as early as yesterday, satellite pictures showing the rain coming across and there's a wind pattern coming and stopped him. Do you think that's nature? Do you really? Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But that's it, guys. It's down to individual choice. My choice is I ain't never going to give up trying to wake the people up because I know I'm on the right side of history. Always will be. There's no way I want these scumbags to succeed. Whether they will or not, whether we can stop them or not is another thing. But we've got to try. So, until hopefully tomorrow, or maybe Monday, when we can get out to Danny and do a live through YouTube. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope I ain't pissed you all off too much, but I'll just come on with truthful opinions, with facts. It's backed up. So, I hope you go and do a bit of research for yourself, and you'll see that we don't just come on here spouting any old bullshit and any old, propaganda like the mainstream media do. We tell it as it is. So, till next time, guys, stay safe. Have a great week at work. So everybody's probably back at work tomorrow. But it's not, well, Monday, but it's not very good now, but it's got to muscle in. But we can make the world a better place. All we got to do is think as one, get together as one, and do something about it as one. That's all we've got to do, guys. And these people won't know what to do. And that's what they're scared of. So stay safe. Here's my hand, here's my heart, guys. I love every single one of you. Stay safe. Say a prayer for everybody in South Africa and also Australia. And let's start writing to our own MPs as well and say, listen, never mind everywhere else. Never mind India and Pakistan. Pakistan. Oh, send Pakistan foreign aid. What did they do with the foreign aid, ladies and gentlemen? They bought nuclear submarines with foreign aid. It was for their people. But they went and bought 2 nuclear submarines, did Pakistan, with the money we gave them for foreign aid. Wake up, guys. And tell our government that can't happen anymore. Little things like this. Start looking after our own. Start looking after the Commonwealth and everywhere else before we send foreign aid to other places. Saudi Arabia and all these countries are very rich countries. Let them help them and we'll help our own. Simple as. Stay safe, guys. I'll speak to you all soon.